program of this academic year. New year. So I extend my warm welcome to one and all. And we are really excited to have the kickstart of the series of guest lectures, just like the last year we have conducted. I would like to extend my gratitude to Bajpayee sir, who is not only the college development committee member, but he is actually the development officer of our college. He is continuously focusing on imparting practical knowledge to the students, and he feels that students should get ready to go to court from the college itself, and they should learn each and every practical aspect which is required in court. So I extend my warm welcome to sir, and he is not only very conscious or cautious regarding the student's career, but he is very much keen to have the quality education. That's why continuously he is nagging the teachers that, and continuously he is giving the work to teachers also. He is giving judgments to study and give me your opinions and everything. It means how sir is very serious about the legal education. I'm very thankful to sir for his support. I extend my gratitude to our today's resource person, Dr. Sanjay Bang sir, who is always ready to contribute for imparting the quality education. So it is the effort of the college by inviting the practicing advocates, judicial officers, academicians from various fields to provide you the insights and practical knowledge which will make you close to the court realities. And this lecture, which is on the sports law as a new career opportunity, it is a small but a significant initiative towards broadening your understanding about the law beyond the traditional boundaries. So once again, I welcome you everyone to today's lecture. Lot of efforts are required when we are conducting these guest lectures and we are inviting the resource person from various fields. Actually, you should have a consideration that how much college is taking effort. Despite students say that they are being treated as a slave and they are compulsorily, they are forcefully being, they are forced to sit in the classes and this guest lectures. From this dais, I'm telling you, you are not forced to attend these lectures. You feel it is not work for you, you can leave the seminar hall. But we are expecting dignity you should maintain for the college. And you should have the consideration of the lectures which the college is conducting for you. It is not the publicity of the college or the publicity of principal. It is for your future we are working continuously. Constant efforts are required to do and to conduct these type of programs. We have good legacy, we have good reputation of the college. We don't require any publicity. Here I am actually, I want to share my feeling with you that these are lot of things college is taking efforts for you. And my small request to all the dear students, don't let jealousy cloud your focus. For what purpose you have entered in the college, you should focus on that. Instead, channelize your energy positively and accept all the challenges. One example I want to quote here that is about Sheetal Devi and Payal Nag. Being a disabled person, they don't have arms and limbs, but still they have achieved the world championship in archery. So in Paris 2024, they have got medal in Paralympics. Despite they don't have hands and feet, but still they have become the world champion in archery. So with that spirit, I want to request each and everyone be serious about your studies and give your best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. We are truly honored to welcome a scholar, a teacher, and a mentor, Dr. Sanjay Bangsa, Associate Professor of Law at Christ University, Lavasa, Pune, as our today's resource person. I also welcome respected Sachin Bangsa, who is a RTO officer. It is a great pleasure to welcome Senior Advocate and CBC member Sri Ashish Chikachpai sir, who is instrumental in arranging such program very frequently for the benefit of the students. Extend my warm greetings to the teachers and all the students present here. We all are delighted to have a resource person, and it is a great privilege to felicitate our distinguished guest. May I request Ashishji Bajpai sir to welcome Honorable with shawl and bouquet. Thank you, sir. Now, I request our principal ma'am to felicitate respected Sachin Bang sir and RTO officer. Thank you, ma'am and sir. Now, I would like to give a brief introduction of our today's resource person before I invite him to interact with the student. It is both honor and moment of pride for me to introduce Dr. Sanjay Satyanarayan Bang sir, a name synonymous with academic in the field of law. Sir has an incredible teaching and research experience spanning over 70 years. He is a PhD holder in law, has cleared NET in three disciplines, law, criminology, and human rights, and has contributed extensively to legal scholarship, books, research papers, and lectures. What's truly inspiring is that he has trained IAS, IPS, and IFS officer at prestigious Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration, which is located at Uttarakhand, and conducted over 300 workshops for civil servants and law enforcement officers. His work in criminal law, constitutional law, RTI, forest and insurance laws reflects not just academic depth but real world relevance. Currently, he serves as an associate professor of law at PG and PG co-coordinator at Christ University, Lavasa Pune campus and continues to be a mentor of PhD and postgraduate students. Now, with further delay, I invite our resource person to take the stage and enlighten us.
So much for this introduction. Uh, I'm grateful to Nathani ma'am and the management of Dayanand Law College for giving me this opportunity. And it's always pleasure for me to come to Latur or to Nandej and to interact with all my fellow beings as well as the students from Dayanand Law College or NC Law College Nandej. Yes, one thing I would like to add. By the grace of God, I got that opportunity to teach to IS IPS officers from 2013 to 15. But today, it is something very special for me. I would say more than that as well. Up till now, as already you mentioned, I talked to IS IPS officers, but fortunately today, first time in this 20 years of my career, my brother is sitting in my class. So this is more than that as well. So thank you so much. Now I would like to go with my today's topic, that is sports law, a new career opportunity, changing passion into profession. Uh, but yes, before I start, I have some requests for you. I think just ma'am had scolded you uh, for some reason, undoubtedly. And just to bring you back on the track, I have that request. Normally, it is said that teachers of law are greater than mother as well. Yes, I repeat, teachers of law are greater than mother. Yes, we are lawyers and we should prove each and everything, even this as well. Now, in our culture, Indian culture, we believe that even God is not equal to our mother. Then how the teacher of law can overcome that? So one thing is there. Yes, in one area, mother cannot beat us. Mother can put only one child to sleep at a time. If we wish, we can put 100 students to sleep at one particular moment. So my request is, I don't want to be greater than mother. I want your interaction. Please interact with me. If there are any queries, you please write down. At the end, we will discuss on that. So now, going back to the topic. Up till now, in the traditional format, I would say before 10 years as well, the dimensions were very limited: constitution, criminal law, civil law, and with the passage of change, intellectual property laws, and so on. Now, of course, today we are taking one step ahead and we are talking about AIs and law. But there are certain hidden gems which are overlooked. And probably sports law is one that area. If I say during 90s, the people are there. During 90s or even, I would say 90s only, not after 1991, not only the economical aspects of the country, it changed. But entire dimensions are changed, and that probably I will cover in my lecture. Till 90s, I used to watch a sport. I used to watch a sport called cricket, and I was mad for that. But now today, cricket is not left only sports. It's business. It's business. Recently, when I'm not sure how many of you are aware about this, but there was a cricket match, final test championship match between Australia and South Africa. Who won, who lost probably was second day. But in Indian newspapers, I had gone through one news, and that since India did not reach to final, so England suffered huge financial loss. This was the caption. Just imagine, not only in our country, but in another country also. If India is not reaching to the final, the other, the broadcasters or the officials, they are facing huge financial loss. What does it mean? If it would be cricket, the two other teams already, best teams I would say, reached to the final. So what was that? Why India was required in the final? So those aspects we are going to cover. By the way, before I start, how many of you are sports lovers? Very few hands. No teacher? Okay, thank you. So I would like to start from ice-breaking session. Can I go to the next slide, please? In ice-breaking, first I would like to go with this part. Some questions are there, but before I ask the questions, I want to start with certain other things. If I say that I would like to know from your side, I'm talking about which country. Since I want to take you to that area where you can link the social aspect, the financial aspect, ethical aspect, undoubtedly sports is carrying all those aspects. So I'm giving an example of one football World Cup. Exactly, I don't remember. I'm talking about which football World Cup. If I'm not wrong, it was 2016 World Cup. If I'm not wrong, but not very sure about that. One match was going on between two teams. One team was Portugal. The other team I'm not disclosing right now. And the another team was dominating the match for more than half time. And even in the second half, it was dominating. It was leading by 2-1. But unfortunately, in the final few minutes, final 10 minutes, the match turned completely, and the another country that lost the match by 3-2. 3-2. Till that time, the crowd, spectators from that particular country, they were enjoying, they were celebrating. Probably in that celebration, which is not celebration is culture of every country, no doubt. But they threw certain bottles, certain papers, and so on, which probably is rare for them, since their country was about to reach to the quarter final of the World Cup for the first time. But unfortunately, in the last 10 minutes, the another country, that is Portugal, took the game from the another country. So first few minutes after the match, they showed their pain. They showed their pain. And after 10 minutes only, after 10 minutes, they realized that even though the match was not being played in their own country, it was played somewhere else. If I'm not wrong, it was played in France. They went, they took out all those bottles, papers, everything. They put all those things into the dustbin and then went. While leaving, they congratulated the Portugal fans. Yes, I'm talking about which country? Wonderful. I think without even taking 10 seconds, the answer is there. That is Japan. It means first thing in sports that what is required is ethics. Ethics and your philosophy. That the Japanese probably had followed. Okay, now I would like to go with this certain question. Yes, can I get the answer for first one? Which Indian state is famous for producing top wrestlers? Wonderful. I think I need not to put extra efforts for this lecture now. Second one, yes, my one, it's not warning, but of course, cautiously answer this question. Second one, which is national game of our country? sure about hockey, cricket, or kabaddi as well? Okay, fine. But somehow, somewhere, I've heard, probably I think that answer is from your side. Can you please answer? Yes, it's a correct answer. Traditionally, we have accepted hockey as our national game. Somehow, somewhere we confuse with cricket, but correct answer to that in that format is hockey. But yes, as you correctly pointed out, it is nowhere mentioned that hockey is our national game, but we consider it. Number third now, which law protects players from doping from in India? Vada, Vada is famous in Latur. I'm not talking about what famous Vada. Yes, is it Vada or Nara? Vada is, of course, world, world. That is NADA, National, means I'm talking about the act here, so I'm talking about National Anti-Doping Act of 2022. Okay, now which state is known as the powerhouse of Indian hockey? Please answer very cautiously. It's not Punjab, if you are thinking so. Yes, please, please. Yes, I got the answer. Yes, it is Odisha. May I know the reason why it is Odisha? Yes, it is correct, but why? But hockey players are from Punjab. That's why initially I have given that it's not Punjab. Yes, it is because of the efforts of then Chief Minister Biju Patnaik. He sponsored Indian hockey team. He provided the basic amenities to Indian hockey team, which was lacking in hockey. It is actually something which brought gold medals to our country way back. But unfortunately, after 1980, we could not even reach to the finals, semi-finals as well. But because of the efforts of Biju Patnaik, we got bronze medal in the last Olympic, and that too we lost to the world number one team, Belgium. So that's why it is called as powerhouse. It is providing funds to hockey infrastructure, which is badly required. Yes, what is the full form of IPL? So many forms are there. Yes, correct is Indian Premier League. Some people call it Indian Paisa League as well. Even intellectual property law, but I'm not talking about that here. Okay, when it began? 2008. Yes, can I get the answer for this? Name of the predecessor of IPL. IPL is copy of two things: English Premier League and another one is this. That is Indian Cricket League. Indian Cricket League, which is considered as rebellious league since it is not recognized by the BCCI. And if you see Article 32 of ICC, unless the state authority permits, it cannot be considered official. So BCCI never recognized that ICL. So that's why it was never considered as official as well. And because of ICL only this IPL came. So can you name one moment in Indian sports that made you feel proud, even if you don't follow the sports regularly? And of course, sports doesn't mean only cricket. You can accept cricket as well. I'm not restricting you, but yes, you can think beyond. Dhoni 6, I think so. Most of the time, this answer I got. It's perfect, perfect. The gold medal. Yes. Any other thing? Chess as well. Yes. Okay, so since it's a subjective question, you may have different answers as well. But yes, there are so many proud moments in our sports industry, and we should celebrate that. And only cricket as well. We need to promote, I think we need not to now, but we should celebrate at least. And the last one, what is the full form of WADA, which already we discussed? Yes, World Anti-Doping Agency, which is actually like you can say United Nations, which is giving the guidelines to all the other countries, I mean member countries. They can regulate their own. Okay, going further now, why we are discussing. So first one, can I know this example? Means is it offense over there? A football player breaks another's leg on purpose. Yes, I would like to take your attention to one incident. I'm not sure how many of you follow the football, but even if you are not following football, I'm sure you know about this incident. That was final match of World Cup, Football World Cup. And two countries, Italy and France, they were competing each other. The predictions were France will dominate Italy since majority of the French players they were playing in English Premier League. So that's why confidence was there. But sometimes always we discuss presumptions are good, but only in Indian Evidence Act. In real life, they may not work as well. And on that particular day, Italy was dominating, and Italy was, I think, 2-1 or 3-2. They were ahead than France. And in the last 10 minutes, something happened which was never expected. One famous football player, in fact, he was captain of France as well. He hit another French, Italian player, I mean, by his head, popularly called as header. He fell down. The referee came, he showed the red card. It means leave the field. And for the next 10 minutes, France played with 10 players and Italy played with 11 players. So can we imagine the same situation outside the premises of Dayanand Law College or Dayanand Education Society? If I hit someone else with my head, can I expect police will show me red card? They can show me red danda, but not red card. The reason is that was violation of football rule. So the referee showed the red card. But does it mean that Zidane was exempted from criminal punishment? This may I know your answer? But in football ground, everything is possible. The referee did what he was authorized to do. He cannot punish. But had the Italian player taken this matter to the court, then whether the court would have entered there. Yes, is it offense? The answer to this question is 100% yes. Hitting someone else is not authorized. It is not authorized. What he did, whatever the reason might be, theories are there. He actually talked something rubbish and that's why he reacted. Whatever it is, but you are not authorized to hit someone else. Okay. A kabaddi player fakes an injury to win time. I think recent third test between India and England. It was famous for so many reasons, but one point was there. Both the players, both players, I mean to say, players from both the team, they actually adopted this strategy to take out the time. Is it illegal? Already I said I don't want to be greater than mother. I want answer. Okay. Now a cricket bat breaks during a match. Now one of our cricketer, Rishabh Pant, he prefers to throw the bat while hitting. In a match, at least you can expect 3-4 times this bat will go. So now, if the bat is getting damaged, can we expect, can he file case against that company as a consumer? Have you ever asked this question to yourself? Throwing the bat? Okay, is there any act, have you ever thought that whether there is any act apart from Consumer Protection Act which is covering all these aspects? Second, in cricket field, there was one unfortunate incident when one of the Australian cricketer, she died in the field. When he was batting, he was hit by a ball. It was on the spinal cord of that person. In fact, he was wearing the helmet as well, which was covering his face. But the ball hit to his spinal cord, as already I mentioned. He fell down. He was taken to the hospital. Since he was international cricketer, every best possible treatment was given to him. But unfortunately, the doctors could not save him. He died. Now the legal rights, can they take the matter to the court against the manufacturing company? Okay, now a school refuses to give sports quota admission after announcing it. I'm sorry, but I have touched some sensitive issues. I'm sorry to the management first. Okay, these are certain areas where we can think. First one, now I would like to answer. It is aside possible criminal liability. Second thing, it is unethical but not illegal. It's part of strategy. People used to say everything is fair in love and war, but I think everything is fair in love, war, as well as sports. And everywhere, even sledging has become an integral part of the game, not only in cricket, in other sports as well. Now, about that as well, the gender discrimination. Yes, I want to take one example here. Way back in 2000, when I used to watch the tennis matches. Two famous tennis players, Monica Seles and Steffi Graf, they raised action against the tennis authority, World Tennis Authority, for paying lesser amount to the Wimbledon champion, female as well as male category. They complained that they raised this issue. See, I'm talking about 1990s, but from 1990s to 2025 as well. If you check, recently the Wimbledon's got over. If you check the prize money of Sinner and the female who won that title, you will find huge difference. Huge difference. Even though we are saying that gender discrimination is not there, equality is there, and everything is there. But yes, we have to accept it means in most honest way. Yes, discrimination is there as far as sports is going on. Means knowingly or unknowingly we are following that. And the cricket match example, yes, equipment issue not such a legal problem. But when it comes that if you prove that it was negligence from the concerned company's point of view, you can take the matter under Legal Metrology Act 2009. Legal Metrology Act 2009. So this is something else. And of course, possible breach of promise or misrepresentation from the institute side if they are not offering the sports coach. So with this, now I would like to go to the main part. In this part, now I'm talking about the importance of sports industry first, then possible statutes which we are going to discuss, then some examples from each statute, and then in the last, how to approach to the sports firms. That is something. Few of my students have already gone to the sports firm. One student, she has gone for the third time with the same firm for the internship. She is currently fourth year student. So whenever I talk to her, her answer is one simple, that now I want to be a sports lawyer. I don't want to go anywhere else. So it is open for all of you. Let me cover all those things. So now in the past, in the beginning only I said, I used to watch cricket as a sports, but now cricket has become game. And this is not limited up to cricket, it is equally applicable to all sports. And for your understanding, I would like to show one stats there. In 2023-24, I took my possible efforts to find the date of 2024-25, but unfortunately could not get. So 2023-24 data I would like to share, and that too by Indian Chambers of Commerce. Indian Chambers of Commerce. Sports industry means it's not about sports industry, but media, entertainment, and sports industry ranks 10th number in India. 10th number in India, and that is 1 lakh crore revenue. 1 lakh crore revenue. Up till now, only entertainment agency was carrying that. That industry was carrying. But now equally sports as well as the media, they are now about to cross even the entertainment industry. So 1 lakh crore, that is what the figure is, and that too by Indian Chambers of Commerce. Now with the rise of events like IPL, Pro Kabaddi, and so on, there so many things are coming. First one, you can say to manage the contracts of the players. Then thereafter, protect players' right as well. If you are not paying the basic amenities to them, or if you are not ready to pay them their basic remuneration as well, the labor laws will come into picture. The media sponsorship right, and so many things are there. So please understand first, sports law. Unfortunately, in our country, there is no separate sports coach. Even though, just like our labor code or criminal procedure code, of course, I'm the person from CRPC era, so still that is in my mind. So, just like the criminal code or just like the labor code, it is high time now. We need to promote the sports code. But is it really possible? Just now I was having discussion with Vajpayee sir. Why these are not implementing properly? That also I would like to cover. So we don't have sports code, but there are few countries who are implementing the sports law in much better manner. Few countries I would like to take here. First one, Australia. Australian Sports Commission Act. Australian Sports Commission Act. US took little extra time But in 1978, they adopted one act, as all of us are aware. In US, the central it's weak, not like our central, but still, this is the central act, equally applicable to the states as well. US, they adopted their act in 1978. Even country whose 90% laws we are copying today as well. Yes, I'm talking about. Yes, if someone is asking you a question that from which country we have taken the law, if you know the answer, give the answer. But if you don't know the answer, blindly say England. 90% it will be right. And in this case also, the answer is England. They are also having their good law. And even I checked France law as well as South Africa law. These countries are having good sports laws. Yes, there are two countries which I need to mention here. One Japan and another China. Probably China don't require law. They themselves are law. So means why I'm talking about these countries? The reason is these are the countries which are having good numbers, especially in terms of gold medals or the other medals. But though they don't have the law, but the regulation is very strict. And second is Japan. Japan doesn't have any specific law, but we already discussed about their ethical part. So they are also doing wonderfully. If you check the list of Olympic countries, probably Japan or Australia will be in top 10, if not among top 5, but top 10 for sure. But unfortunately, we don't have any kind of law. Yes, there are few laws which we need to consider. But before that, few another point also I want to talk. Uh, Apart from these parts, like what we discussed, the contract, their working conditions, the media entertainment, sponsorship, and so on. See, another things are there, like doping. This is a serious problem. Up till now, you haven't experienced any kind of cricket example. Have you ever recalled that any Indian cricketer is tapped in anti-doping policy? Anyone else? Yes, yes. Yes. Any other country, any means famous cricketer, any famous sports player, especially I'm talking about cricket here. Wonderful. Shane Warne was actually, he could not clear that test. And before the World Cup of 2023, Shane Warne was one of the means key player from Australia. But he was banned. He was banned. So that was his last tournament. So it did not impact Australia in a longer term. But for that particular event, yes, it affected. He was banned. But when it comes about Indian cricket, yes, up till now, there is only one example where the person was actually trapped in that. Means by that time, of course, it was not act. He could not clear that anti-doping test. I'm talking about Prithvi Shaw. Prithvi Shaw, who was a promising player. Even watch today's Shubman Gill or the second one, Yashasvi Jaiswal. Probably Prithvi Shaw would have been one step ahead than these two. But unfortunately, he is the lone player who was trapped in that anti-doping policy. But by that time, BCCI was not ready. BCCI even was dominating the National Doping Authority as well. They were not ready. They were saying, no, you cannot conduct the test for our cricketers. But I'm not sure exactly what happened. But Prithvi Shaw was fortunate or unfortunate, I don't know. But he was trapped over there. But from 2022 onwards, BCCI is also governed by National Anti-Doping Act. And now they cannot take the stand. They cannot take the stand that even if you are trapped in the doping policy, still you cannot claim that. Another point is related to match fixing. Yes, we are aware match fixing is a serious threat to so many sports and particularly cricket, where we are considering cricket not only sports but we are considering it as a religion. We have gone up to the extent to say god of cricket to someone else. It means we are not considering it as a cricket only, it's something beyond. If match fixing or such kind of scandals are there, which laws will come? And if laws are there, what are the weaknesses? That also we can discuss. And yes, of course, gender discrimination we already talked. Age fraud is again one serious issue. How many of you believe Vaibhav Suryavanshi is 14-year-old? Is he? Recent 2025 IPL is one such example.
Even when he went to right now, I think our cricket team of under 19 is also in England, and Vaibhav Suryavanshi has dominated there as well. It's a serious issue. Yes, sir. What we were discussing, we are having one act, and according to that act, the age, fake age, or other kind of things we can cover. But I think because of the revenue which the BCCI is generating, the act is in paper. Act is in paper. I feel so. But, I am sharing my opinion honestly. Please don't take it negatively. I don't believe Vaibhav Suryavanshi is 14-year-old. No. Strict no. He must be 17-year-old. 17 or 18-year-old. Not less than that. But he's playing with the those who are 14-year-old or like that. So please understand all these parts are also there. So that example only I covered there. Now athletes not only they should be aware about their physical training, but legal awareness is equally required here. Now as a student, what we are getting through this lecture, how we can march. So please understand, first step, since there is no codified law for sports, a single codified law, I mean, there is no single codified law. So we need to study the scattered laws. Which laws we are going to cover, that one by one we are going to discuss. So now for students and professionals, understanding sport law means just stepping into a new field. Please believe me, if you just break your traditional thinking of criminal, civil or constitutional or IPR part, you can achieve wonder. You can achieve wonder. Sports law is one hidden gem. I would say I can compare it with Kohinoor as well. It's something which we never considered. You can no doubt consider IAR or IPR or other experience. I'm not stopping you, but this is something which you cannot afford to lose also. Please follow that as well. And of course, where your passion will meet to your profession, where ethics means business, and the demand for qualified legal experts is only at a growing stage. Just remember that. So now till 2030, what we can expect. So now fastest growing sector. By that time I was talking about media, sports and entertainment agency. Now I am talking only about sports agency here. In 2024, the industry it got 1500 crores revenue. 15, I'm sorry, 15,000. 15,000 crore revenue only from sports industry. And we are expecting double. I don't think it can go double. It may go even beyond that. And only IPL is contributing 7,000 crore. 7,000 crore. You must have gone through the news. Now the BCC has sold the rights for 48,000. 48,000 to the media agency. 48,000 for next 5 years. So just see the economical growth of this particular industry. Now, another part is like Hello India, Fit India movement, Target Olympic Podium scheme, everything is there. And for your kind understanding, this one, that is new sports policy, finally is approved. It is finally approved, and from 1st July 2025, less than 20 days has happened. This is implemented to all country. All country. Hopefully, we can expect some positive changes in the upcoming time. Now, the rise of player contract and all those already we discussed, and this part also I already talked, so I don't want to discuss again on this one. Now, so what is the scope of our sports law? First one, player representation. If you represent the players, that will be huge. Second one, broadcasting rights. Third one, sponsorship deals, disciplinary hearing before BCCI or NADA or such kind of thing, and arbitration and dispute resolution. These are also certain things. Now, as already I said, we don't have any specific code. Today, I'm going to discuss 14, probably 14 acts which we can align with sports. But please understand, these are not limited. This list is not inclusive. It is, in fact, it can go even beyond that. You can bring constitution, you can bring the POXO, you can bring all other Juvenile Justice Act, everything you can add over there. But I'm going to talk on few things on that. First one, the National Sports Development Code of India. National Sports Development Code of India. Yes, this was implemented in 2011. 2011. But unfortunately, one of the weak code in India. I would say toothless tiger. toothless tiger. And before BCCI, it is surrendering. It is surrendering. And since we are getting benefit, India is reaching to almost all finals or so on. So we are not concerned about that as well. But yes, this is one thing. What we can do, that we will discuss little later. Second one is National Anti-Doping Act of 2022. Third one, National Sports Policy is already adopted. Then disciplinary laws. I want to take your attention to an incident. Not only these WADA or NADA rules, even the authorities their own rules as well. In one unfortunate incident in March 2020, when Delhi police, they were actually tracking something else. And coincidentally, when Constable of Delhi police, yes, you heard it correctly, Constable of Delhi police, he got cross conversation where he heard the voice of one person. He was speaking in English, and that was not Indian English. It was having some different kind of pronunciation. And he was discussing with one another person who was speaking in Indian English. And that was related to a match. Match. Yes, I'm talking about the then series between India and South Africa, where the then captain of South Africa, Hansie Cronje, and four other cricketers, they were trapped in the match fixing. And not only the South African cricketers, but few Indian cricketers like Ajay Sharma, Ajay Jadeja, Mohammad Azharuddin, these cricketers were also trapped. And bookies, they are having very good psychology. They find out that Ajay Sharma is one person who is from a very poor background. He reached up to that level. So this bookie, Ajay Chandeli, I think, he was also Ajay. So if some Ajay is there in the class, please forgive me. So he approached to Ajay Sharma. He promised him something. Then he took to Ajay Sharma, Ajay Jadeja, and Mohammad Azharuddin. And then the entire thing happened there. Then Mohammad Azharuddin and Ajay Jadeja. Ajay Sharma was banned. Ajay Jadeja, I mean, Ajay Jadeja was banned for 5 years. But Azharuddin was banned for lifetime. Then it was lifted, but by that time he crossed 50 years of his age. So these kind of laws are already there. Then Contract Act, how Contract Act is applicable, we will discuss. Labor law, criminal law, then Public Gambling Act. If someone is asking me a question to name the weakest act in India, after Dowry Prohibition Act, I will take this name, that is Public Gambling Act. One of the worst act I have ever studied. Yes, how that is worst act and weak act, that we will discuss. Then Intellectual Property Law, Tort Competition Act, Information Technology, Consumer Protection, Legal Metrology. And yes, my dear friends, my dear students, those who want to pursue the career in sports law, my humble request to all of you, please start with Law Commission Report 2076, that is 2018 Law Commission Report. If you follow this, you can say this is like our Bhagavad Gita, Bible, Quran, whatever you want to say in sports law. Yes, that is there. Two section, I mean to say, Law Commission Report 276. It has covered all those things. But here, yes, some limitations are there. And that limitation is gambling in sports. It doesn't talk about cricket rules or something like that. But it is talking about the gambling in sports, which is threat now. It has taken the sports from sports to business. So that Law Commission report is very important for that. Yes, as I already said, it is not limited up to these 15 laws. Even beyond that, Constitution, Juvenile Justice Act, POCSO, many things you can include there. Even FEMA also, if the money is coming from foreign. So many things are there that we can discuss it sometime later. Now, some authorities also I would like to discuss. If again you want to pursue your career, please go through these authorities. BCCI, IOA, that is Indian Olympic Association, National Sports Federation. Then what they are doing, they are the governing bodies. Then Sports Authority of India, they are talking about infrastructure and athlete training. Infrastructure and athlete training. I remember way back when the sports minister, the then sports minister, Mr. Sunil Dutt, who was popular Bollywood actor as well, and he was sports minister. So all of a sudden he went to the area where hockey team was residing. They were about to go to Olympic, and Sunil Dutt suddenly went there to inspect the facility, the quality of food which was provided to the hockey players. He was very upset. He was very upset. It was not that kind of food or that kind of facility which we were giving to them. How can we expect the medal from these kind of the hockey players? That was one discussion. So based upon that, the Sports Authority of India is now taking care of all those things. Then NADA WADA rules already we talked. Ministry of Youth Affairs and Sports, they are there to form the policies, and courts and tribunals, they are going to adjudicate the disputes. Now, few examples I would like to discuss before I talk about the opportunity which are available over there. So first one from the under National Sports Development Code, which is most important code for us, though it is weak, we can expect that with the passage of time, we can improve. First one, governance of recognizing, functioning and accountability of National Sports Federation. National Sports Federation. So the basic purpose of this act is to govern all those things. Who is taking the chairperson? Again, it is something difficult also for me also to discuss. All of a sudden we take it into a political way. But no, I don't want to touch any political aspects here. But unfortunately, either Jay Shah or Sharad Pawar, whether they have taken that into their hand, no, they are the heading. They are heading the thing. Can we expect? Can we expect? So, but thankfully now, this code is controlling all those things. That certain code of conduct are there. That if you want to achieve that particular position, you must qualify these two things. Second, it is mandatory for the sports body to follow transparency, especially age, fair selection norms, and athlete grievance mechanism. If athletes are there, few athletes, they went directly to the court or even to CCI also. CCI, Competition Commission of India. That also we will discuss little later. But now, players, instead of going to the adjudicating authorities, they can approach to the concerned authorities if it is required. Taking some lessons from some matters raised before the authority, this code was passed and these some regulations were there. Now, Anti-Doping Act. Yes, I have considered recent examples only. Otherwise, if you go and check, many members are there. First one, Navjot Kaur, not Navjot Kaur, Navjot Kaur. Navjot Kaur, she actually won 2 gold medals in Commonwealth Games in 2018. But now she is facing the ban for 3 years. Ban for 3 years because of some anti-doping. Means she failed into that particular test, and she came under that banned drug. Banned drug. So she is there. Then second one, Vijay Prajapati, a young athlete, in 2024 only. He was a promising one, young athlete. We are expecting gold medal from him in upcoming Olympics. But unfortunately, again, he found guilty and he is banned for 4 years. He is banned for 4 years. Who knows now? Their moral may not be that high. That can come down. So in this kind of act, anti-doping act, you need to see one thing, that banned drug, exactly whether this definition is fine, what exactly will come under that banned drug. This is our part. These people can come to you. They can say, for example, I'm an asthma patient. And sometimes when I'm feeling that it's going beyond my control, I'm not able to breathe properly, then undoubtedly I need to go for that Asthalin Rotacam. Asthalin Rotacam. But it contains sorbitam, and it is again a kind of thing which is prohibited there. Prohibited there. So if I'm taking the Asthalin and I'm going to for a test, 100% I will be positive there. And we Indians are famous for our desi nuskans. Yes. So means every time, like before we go to write the exam, we take the cult, and we believe that our mind will work. So many things are there. So sometimes it is also quite possible in that, and of course, everyone was doctor during the time of COVID. That what we used to call it, CADA. Thank you, sir. So if you see the CADA, the multinational companies will also die if you see the combinations. So now that is fine. To protect ourselves, we did all those things. But at the same time, if I'm taking the Desi Nuska without even aware that yes, it is somehow somewhere controlled in that, and if I found guilty, doesn't it mean that my intention should be considered there? Whether my aim was to enhance my ability, is it? So all those things you have to discuss over there. We already discussed about Prithvi Shah, so I will not talk on that now. Yes, Indian Contract Act. Yes, which is probably everyone liked this act. I don't know how, but yes. And yes, believe me, Indian Contract Act is the gateway for the corporate world. If you don't like Indian Contract Act, please start loving Indian Contract Act. There is no choice. There is no choice. And when the industry people come to us, and when we ask them what to do, means if I want to come, I want to send my student to the corporate world, which act I should teach them first, consumer or IPR or so on. At least out of 10, 8 have answered me this act, that is Indian Contract Act. So Indian Contract Act teacher, I think Manis sir, is it? No. So those who are teaching Indian Contract Act, please, you are actually sending the students to the gateway to the corporate world. It is their task now. So please give your best for that. Two examples I would like to discuss. MS Dhoni and Amrapali Group case. Now, what is this case? First, MS Dhoni was brand ambassador of Amrapali Group. Amrapali Group is for in that infrastructure group. But later on, some claims came. The investors were not very happy with the quality of work, and they were claiming that what was promised is not provided. And Mahendra Singh Dhoni, considering that yes, now under Consumer Protection Act, you must have gone through. Celebrities are equally liable. Celebrities are equally liable. So maybe based upon that, he left that. He left that. Yes, coming out from the discussion, if you are following some celebrity, good, you follow that person. But I believe one thing, that the real life of celebrity and this commercial life of celebrity are like two tracks of railway. They will go together but will never meet. Yes, I think my brother will forgive me for one thing. He is hardcore fan of Akshay Kumar. Akshay Kumar, who never smoke, who never smoke, but he promoted the cigarettes company. And the other two famous, that Juba Kesari. What is that? This is what we are expecting from the Shah Rukh Khan and Ajay Devgan, or even the new Tiger Shroff. Tiger Shroff. Yes, it is very easy for you to say Juba Kesari. But what about the young generation? They are blind followers of you. So, means I think now, because of this promising change in the Consumer Protection Act, they are taking cautious step, and probably this MS Dhoni's example is one such example. When he realized that no, this is not fulfilling the promise, he actually came out from the contract. Whatever happened between the two, he came out from the contract, and later on we found that even after the breach of contract, the Amrapali group, they were continuing, they were promoting Mahendra Singh Dhoni. They may raise action against them under Indian Contract Act only, and he got huge compensation. He got huge compensation. So, and again, Gautam Gambhir's case, Gautam Gambhir, by that time he was MP as well. So, his name was used by a restaurant chain without his consent as well. At least Mahendra Singh Dhoni was part of that contract. But this person, Gautam Gambhir, he never entered into the contract as well. But his photo was shown. So he talked not only about the Indian Contract Act, but he claimed about personality trait, part of our trademark law. And he used passing off as well, again the trademark law act, the trademark law concept. He raised all those concepts, but major focus was on Indian Contract Act. So these two examples I wanted to share with you. Now talking about the labor laws, working conditions, salaries, equal pay for equal work, and so on. Again, as I said, I really don't want to talk the political issues here, but I have due respect for the then Chief Minister of Odisha, Biju Patnaik. And again, there was a reason. There was a reason. How many of you heard, by the way, name Dilip Turkey? No. Dilip Turkey was Indian hockey team captain. Indian hockey team captain. He was leading India into Olympic and Asia as well in a number of international matches. Now he's MLA there. He is from Odisha. He is MLA. And probably he talked to Mr. Biju Patnaik. And then Biju Patnaik provided all those facility. And now hockey team, whatever the progress is there, it is because of these two states. Odisha because of the financial support, and Punjab because of the players. Majority of the players are from that particular state only. So, but still, unfortunately, Indian hockey players, they went on strike. They went on strike for not providing the proper remuneration which was agreed as well. Agreed as well. Even the working time, they were not even allowed to go and to meet their family members as well. That in their working laws, everything, we are not restricted up to 8 hours, 10 hours, or so on. I can understand. Even when I was discussing with both Panchal madam and Nathani ma'am, I know that 8 hours, sometimes some labor laws are in the labor books. We need to go beyond that. These players are also not expected to follow that 8 hours. But sometimes the hockey players, they were asked to work for 18 hours. 18 hours. Unfortunately, our media did not take note of all those things, which is not even brought into our notice also. Otherwise, yesterday's Lokmat paper, if you see, there was one photo. Jasprit Bumrah and Smriti Mandhana, they were shaking the hand. People know that we are blind follower of cricketer, anything we will take it into consideration. But unfortunately, other sports are dying. We need to take a note of that as well. So these all things are covered into our labor laws. You can go into means even you can go into labor code as well. Second, criminal law. This means the example of Zinedine Zidane already I discussed at international level. Now I would like to talk about this the famous, not famous example, Srishant and Ajit Chandalia. Both of them were arrested in section 120B, 420 and 66 of IT Act. Yes, intentionally I did not write the another act, 120B and 420, but it's sufficient enough. I'm talking about? Yes, I'm talking about Indian Penal Code, 420 and IPC, they are linked. Huh. So that was over there, that's spot fixing. That was the allegation against these two people, And later on, since there is, means even in Gambling Act also, there is no procedure which is given there. And if you find criminally liable, yes, and if the act is not specified in the procedural part, what we are supposed to follow? Yes, those who are from third year and final year, I want fifth year, I mean. Yes, if a person is arrested in any special law, criminal law, and that act is silent, not talking anything about the procedural part, which law we will take it into consideration? Wonderful, be confident, please. That is CRPC, now BNSS. CRPC or BNSS. Please refer section 4.5 of CRPC. For that, BNSS I need to look into, please. But you please refer 4 and 5 for that. So that will be, that was followed there. And they were arrested for all those things. Next one, this again unfortunate incidents. It is not yet settled as well, but still I thought that I should discuss with you. Famous boxer, that is wrestler, not boxer, I mean to say wrestler, Sushil Kumar, who won the medal as well. He won the medal in Olympic. Unfortunately, he was arrested for murder of his junior. And that person, Sagar Dhankar, unfortunately from Maharashtra, the junior wrestler, he passed away in one punch of Sushil Kumar. He passed away. But before that, he claimed as well that means ragging and such kind of things were also there. So right now, Sushil Kumar is actually going through this section 302 of IPC as well as 120B of criminal conspiracy. Again, IPC. So criminal law is equally applicable over there. Now, intellectual property right. This case I want to add BCCI versus MS Live Current Media Incorporation. This is related to broadcasting. In fact, this company, without permission of BCCI, they use the IPL logo, which is protected under the Trademark Act. So that can be covered over there. Second, about Sania Mirza also. Without her permission, her photo was used. And she raised the same issue like how Gautam Gambhir used that. That was personality rights as well as the personality right as well as passing of part. Then in fact, she raised one additional point that was defamation as well. Yes, now I want all of your attention. This act, of course, is very close to my heart, Competition Act. And Competition Act is something which is not yet very common to us. This is compulsory act. I taught this act for 3-4 times. And few examples I would like to give. And the question is there for all of you. Please keep your ears open. If not eyes, fine. Ears open at least. Now, Competition Act. If you want to study Competition Act, start with only 3 sections. 3, 4, 5. I would say 50% of Competition Act is over. 3, 4, 5. That's it. Here I am talking about only one section, that is section 4. Section 4. The first case is of Dhanraj Pillai. Yes, Dhanraj Pillai is also famous hockey player. Captain, ex-captain of hockey team as well. In fact, when Hockey India they entered into the contract with different hockey players. They are not offering what the BCCI is offering to the cricketers, but still the amount was good. And one of the terms and condition, in the terms and condition, one condition was there that these hockey players, they cannot take any assignment. They cannot take any assignment without permission of Hockey India. Without permission of Hockey India. And in fact, the hockey players from different countries, other countries, they were earning crores of rupees by playing the different hockey leagues. But unfortunately, the Indian hockey stars who were representing India in at international level, they were not allowed. So Dhanraj Pillai in 2011, this case is the leading, means I would say the trigger for that act of 2011. Now he raised the issue, and he's under section 4 clause 2 subclause C. He raised the issue and he said that it is denial of market access. It is denial of market access. My earning is restricted by Hockey India. If I'm not compromising with the quality of Indian hockey, whenever hockey is there, Indian hockey the schedule is there, I will first represent India and later on I will represent the league. So why you are stopping? It is denial of market access. This is what he raised. Yes, what is your opinion? Yes, ma'am.
Is it difficult to see how the compromise of his quality while playing the Indian hockey? That will be determined whether he'll be compromising or not.
Okay, ma'am.
So if they want that the Indian players should give their best, that might be a regulation. But of course, that is denial. I also agree on this. They are not the employees of India.
They entered into the contract.
Go outside.
All the teachers. Yes, now my question to all of you. No need to answer me. You answer yourself only. Now, if the Anand Institute is saying that you cannot take any other assignment without prior permission of the institute, is it denial of market access? If I have to go and deliver lecture, institute will not stop you, but at least you need to seek the permission. Is it fine? Interestingly, both Dhanraj Pillai as well as Federation of Hockey India, they were taking different things all of together. Dhanraj Pillai was, of course, giving stress over section 4 clause 2 subclause C, denial of market access, that this market is open for me. Why you are stopping me? It was his stand. Whereas Hockey India was taking some another step. They were saying that we are not selling any product or any service. It's not something like that. So it doesn't come under the purview of Competition Act itself. So this accepting under section 4 clause 2 itself is wrong. Itself is bad in law. So no need to register the case as well. Yes. Still it's open. Okay, the answer to this, yeah, yes,
How will be restricted? It is very competition, state competition, then it becomes.
for sure, for sure. But Hawking they was taking a different stand.
I don't think they can control the person.
Okay, fine. Again, sometimes time is equally important. Time is equally important. If you are too early, that's also not acceptable. No, please, big no to that. Or if you are too late, then you are out of the competition directly. The unfortunate part with Dhanraj Pillai, I feel, the act, of course, was passed way back in 2002. But interestingly, the CCI, Competition Commission of India, came into operation in 2009. 2009. Till that time, the predecessor, that is, the another act was there. Restrictive trade practices, that monopolies of restrictive trade, MRTP Act, it was there. And since the commission itself was not very clear, they simply did one thing, they appointed the director general, he went, he investigated, and he submitted a report. And according to him, rules are not clear. Can you imagine? This is the submission of director general, rules are not clear. Then CCI took a stand, I think correct stand, what they were supposed to take. They said it's a policy matter. And in policy matter, judiciary cannot intervene. Let them restrict it up to the executive only, or to legislature. And unfortunately, his claim was strong, but he lost. He lost. So again, with sports law, my dear students, please think about CCI as well, Competition Commission of India. Competition Commission of India, where for a single matter, the people are charging more than 10 lakh rupees. More than 10 lakh rupees. My brother-in-law, he was actually involved into a case. His case was there in the CCI Delhi, where I had given it to one of my students from Christ University who got degree in 2015. He's there. He said, sir, since you are involved there, so I will charge lesser amount from him. And that lesser amount was 8 lakh rupee. Instead of 10, 8 lakh rupee. So please think about this as well. My humble request. And as I said, for Competition Act, 3 sections. Have mastery over these 3 sections. 3, 4, 5. That's it. The rest of the sections will follow you. So these 3, after that case. Second example I would like to discuss, Surinder Singh Barme versus Board of Control for Cricket in India. That is BCCI case. BCCI case. Now again this case is of 2010. Little old case, and CCI just started its operation. Now in this case what happened? That IPL was just, it was in a boom. In 2008 and 9 edition, they got success. So in 2010, they issued a tender, and the tender was issued in such a way that only Indian Cement could qualify that. Of course, when any entity is sending a, means issuing a tender under Indian Contract Act, if you refer section 28 and so on, you will find that. So they referred the, means they issued the tender, most of them failed the tender, but they were disqualified, straightforward disqualified. And the reason was one simple, the tender was made in such a way that Indian Cement Agency, they will get the tender, and accordingly they got the tender. This person, the Surinder Singh Barme, he was a person who was self-motivated. He was the director of one NGO which was for legal awareness, and he raised the issue. He raised the issue against BCCI, and he said this is abuse of dominance. Abuse of dominance. He raised the issue, and just I have written there the fine which was imposed by CCI, and that fine was 52.24 crore. 5% of average turnover. Average turnover. If you go through the Competition Act, you will find the 3 years revenue will be taken together. 3 years revenue, and average will come. So that average during that time, 2010, it was 52.24 crore. So I can say one thing. Again, first I would like to apologize all of you Maybe my statements are going little against your feelings, but these are strictly my opinion. ICC is puppet in the hand of BCCI, but not CCI. No. ICC, we all know very well. Whenever it is possible, they are favoring to India. We cannot deny this part. But CCI, being a judicial authority, of course, quasi-judicial, but holding that position, they impose fine of 52.244 crore rupees on BCCI. And now, because of that one case, they are very careful. They are very, very careful while issuing the tender. If you want to see their tender, you can please check on the website of BCCI. It is available. And the tenders are available from 2011 onwards, not before. The reason is CCI. CCI kicked the BCCI, and that's why the tenders are available there. So, Competition Act is one such area which you should study. Then of course, I think one entire day if I spent, it will be insufficient to discuss upon this act, Public Gambling Act. Public Gambling Act. The act was passed way back in 1867. 1867. The reason was, and as already I quoted, 17 sections are there only, 17 sections. Gambling is new to India? I don't think so. I don't think so. We Indians have even gone up to extent to put our wife also on the betting. Yes, without saying anything, you know that Draupadi was actually put over there. So gambling was in India from one way or another way. When the Mughals came, I don't know about other Mughal king, but at least I know about Akbar, who was fond of the animal fighting, strange hobby, but it was there. And that was considered like if this cock win, I will pay you this much. If this will win, you will pay me like that. Such kind of things were there. So finally, the Britishers passed one act way back in 1867 to control these things. Some things are there where we need to give credit to them. They wanted to regulate. And it is in general good, in general good. But as already I said, one thing, one of the worst act, WORST, worst act, weak act after Dowry Prohibition Act is this act, that is Gambling Act. And Section 12 has killed the act itself. Yes, specific section I'm telling to you. If you forget all the 16 remaining sections, and if you go through Section 12, you will understand the gist of this act. Now, gambling is prohibited. You might have seen that those who are playing the 3 card or rummy or something like that.
That is prevention.
Sir, I am coming to that point.
Public gambling.
Section 12, yes. Section 12.
Prevention of gambling.
Yeah, prevention of public gambling act. Yes. I have quoted the name in a short way, like BCCI, as I said. So, Public Gambling Act, prevention, not after all, the purpose is to prevent and not to promote. So, this name can be considered as promotion of Public Gambling Act also. So, prevention, thank you for adding this, sir. So, prevention of Public Gambling Act, but Section 12, what it, yes, I would like to go back to that point. If you might have heard that those who are playing 3 cards or rummy or such kind of game, police is arresting them since it comes under the gambling part. Matka is also something which during my childhood I used to heard about that. So Matka, everything is prohibited. But at the same time, Section 12, as I already said, has killed this act itself. And one word is there, and that word is that it's skill. If skill is involved, that is exemption. Now, what is skill? Nowhere it is defined. What is skill? It is nowhere defined. And because of that, since 1867, yes, if you are following Maharashtra's law, 1887, 1887, earlier it was Bombay Act, now it is Maharashtra Prevention of Gambling Act. Now I'm very cautious. Maharashtra Prevention of the Public Gambling Act, 1887. We are following that. So I checked both the acts. Maharashtra Act is under Section 13, whereas the Central Act under Section 12. But both are same. Both are same. Now, what is skill? Nowhere it is defined. Then I thought, if act is silent, let me check the judicial decisions. Unfortunately, judicial decisions are also supporting that. Now, in Public Gambling Act, as I was talking about one thing, if you are too early, you may fail. during 2000, I remember ESPN and Sports, Star Sports, they launched a fantasy app called Super Selector, where the points you will get according to the players who are playing there. But by that time, the mobile was not very common. Mobile was not in your hand also, when easily you can prepare or create the team and play the game. Unfortunately, that Super Selector, they failed. In 2004 only that was stopped. And the concerned person, owner of that Super Selector, he went to US, he studied there, he came back in India, and then he created number of fantasy game. Unfortunately, today the situation is much worse in this fantasy apps. Now, today, if you see Dream 11 or number of fantasy apps are there. And unfortunately, those who are promoting these fantasy apps are stars. These are stars. Can you even imagine the person is saying, "ये रहने दो, मैं कर लूंगा, आप टीम बनाओ." Can you imagine? And again, with due respect to all of you, if I hurt you, at least I consider one person as my ideal, especially for following cricket. He is ethical, number one. Second one, he is the one only, I feel strongly. He is the one who changed the entire dimension of Indian cricket. Yes, I'm talking about, yes, Sachin, Mahendra Singh Dhoni or Virat Kohli. Okay, sometimes those who really work, maybe, yes, thank you so much. Maybe hidden. And the correct person to change the approach. If you change your approach, then nothing is impossible for you. And I don't think it is Mahendra Singh Dhoni who changed the approach of Indian cricket. It is Saurav Ganguly who showed the aggressive way. But I was very disappointed to see Dada ki team ko main beat karunga. Dada is also creating the team. Unfortunately, this fantasy app is going under that skill part, and it is exempted. They are promoting from all the possible platforms which you can imagine. Even I saw the holdings in Nanded. Nanded is like Latur only. It's not metropolitan city. Play the fantasy game. What's going from your side? The amount is going from the person's pocket. It's going on. And we are promoting gambling only. Best way, if you are going and thinking for share market, go ahead. That is, means, of course, if speculative income is coming, that will also fall under the part of gambling. But rest of the things are fine. This kind of promotion is there. And unfortunate part is law is very silent on that. No law is clear. Nothing. You cannot get a single law over there. And even if you check this section 30 of Indian Contract Act, wagering agreement, you will find exemption for horse racing. Horse racing also. They are saying that I am thinking the past performance of the horse, and based upon that, I am putting my money over that horse. So it is game of skill. It's not game of chance. Game of skill and game of chance. Now, my honest request to all of you, those who are looking into their mobile also, last benches particularly, you please see here. You may not involve into this kind of games, but you can actually create awareness. Now, I request all of you to focus clearly on this example, which I have actually prepared after due work from that. For almost 4 hours I have given for this one. The fantasy of culture, which is serious threat to economical, social, and of course legal aspects as well. Ethical part also you can add. Now, just let me give it one example. If I am investing, means I am just giving a hypothetical example. If I have created my team, Dream 11 team, 1000 rupee only I have put there, and just like me, 5 different persons are there. So overall, we have put 5000 rupees there. 5000. Now, how this money is going? Yes, as I said, I have spent more than 4 hours to come to this conclusion. Those who think that I'm quoting wrong example, yes, you are free to take me to the court as well for giving misleading information. With authentic sources only I have taken this. Now, out of this 5000, how the money is actually going on? First one, the central government and of course state government, they are charging GST on these gains 28%, which comes to, yes, 28% GST, 1400 rupees out of 5000. Calculation is based upon 5000. 1400 rupees going to GST, 20% commission on an average. I don't think it is 20%, even 30% is quite possible. 20% commission the app owner they are charging. So even if I restrict it up to 20%, that will go to 720. 720. Number third, the total income of this person. If, for example, I'm fortunate enough and my team has won, then I will get 2,880 rupees. 2,880 rupees after deduction of first two. First two. But again, the story is not ended here. I have to pay 30% income tax on that. And this is the income tax section 115 BBJ. 115 BBJ. And it will come under speculative income. So as per that speculative income, I need to pay 30% tax. Even if I'm unemployed, my income is zero. Still, I need to pay 30%. And that amount will come to 864. 864. So you can calculate 1400, 720, now 864. Now, and we cannot forget, he invested 1000 on his own. 1000 he already invested, then only he can expect this remaining amount. So if you calculate, he will get 1016 rupee. 1016 rupee from this fantasy apps. And now in the next slide, I have given you the total calculation. The player is getting 1016 rupee. His own amount 1000. The owner of the fantasy game is getting 720, and the government is getting 2264. That is from GST as well as income tax. Why the governments will take the efforts to change this culture? Now government is getting money, fantasy app owner is getting money, players are getting money for logo and for advertiser, for everything. Then from where this money is coming? This is coming from our pocket. My pocket, your pocket. And this is not actually shown. And the story is not ended here as well. One point which hurted me badly, more than that, I am focusing on the income of government. 2,264 rupees. They are getting out of 5,000 rupees. 5,000 is probably very, very less amount I have shown. There, I have mentioned, I think there only, or next slide. No, that slide only. As per the report of Hindustan Times, every match of Indian cricket team, I'm talking only about Indian cricket team's national match, international match, I mean, 1,500 crore amount the people are using in this fantasy at 1500 crore amount for one single match. And when it comes about IPL, 74 matches. Earlier 8 teams were there, now 10 teams are there. Each team is playing with each other. And if you are of the opinion that the money is coming only from the pocket of those spectators who are coming to enjoy the cricket match, you are wrong. You are wrong here totally. The major money, hidden money, is coming from such kind of fantasy. And yes, I was on that point. What actually is hurting me badly, more than this calculation as well. When I checked, Dream 11 has given the amount under corporate social responsibility also. They are registered company. And under section 135 of the Companies Act of India 2013, they have paid under corporate social responsibility. It means I ask you to enter into the habit of gambling, and now I'm paying for your social welfare only. Strange, very strange. So I don't know how much they have paid over there. Time was not allowing me to go and check. I can share the details little later. So because of these kind of figures, I doubt in upcoming time you can say a strong sports code. And till that time, the gap is there. Gap is there, which we have to encash. You need to focus on these gaps only. And can you imagine, not only this, like the Juba Kesari example earlier we discussed, the people are earning जंगली रमी पे आओ ना महाराज. Is it? Then I think Rummy is better than this Jungler Rummy. Yes, I think so. And we don't have any particular act to control that. So if law is not there, law is unstable, you can take the advantage from all those things. Yes, coming to the last part now. The last part from the acts particular, the 5 pillars of this sports policy. As I say, sports policy has adopted only on 1st July. So what are those 5 pillars? First one, excellence on the global stage. Excellence on the global stage. This is what we are expecting. In Olympic, we are not among first 50 also. I was very hurted when I saw Qatar was ahead to us. Qatar is smaller than Marathwada in size, but they got gold medal and we were struggling for that. So now we are expecting excellence in global stage. Second one, economical development. Economical development not of BCCI or any particular authority. It is for all. It is for all. So that we can contribute all those things to the people only. Third one, sports for social development. Social in the sense all women or disabled people, everyone can actually participate. And Paralympic or all those things you must have gone through. So that is there. Fourth one, sports for people movement. Fitness and rest of the things are also taken care now. Yes, I think it is high time when we need to consider. See, one probably the best cricketer of current era who is in a dominating position, he is saying that if the series is of 5 matches, I will play either 3 or 2 matches. Who is 30, 32-year old, but because of fitness, he is struggling. And I think equally we should not put extra weight upon this person, who is supported by some good fast bowlers also. Whereas in past, when best cricketer of India, Kapil Dev, who played 131 cricket test matches without gap. One match gap was there, but it was because of disciplinary issue, not because of fitness. Something probably we all are lacking, and we need to focus over there. And of course, coming out from the topic for a minute, my brother who is very busy, he's officer in Dharashu, and up down from Latur to Dharashu. This is his daily routine. But while service only, he has completed Yama Yoga. Yama Yoga. And fitness is something which we can achieve. He is very busy. I can say it's scheduled, but still he achieved. And not only the theoretical part, but practical also. Practical also. So everyone is badly in need of the physical fitness. Thankfully, the sports policy is considering that. And the last one, last point, that is related to integration with National Education Policy, NEP of 2020. And the physical education is considered as one of the strong pillar for this one. Now going to the last part, which is must for you, and the last part is top law firms where you can apply. You can take the photo. I will share the PPT with Poonam ma'am, and you can actually go through that. If you want, you can take the photo as well. This lawyers at Nitish Desai Associate Knowledge Center. It is in Bangalore. Good sports firm. Crida Legal Mumbai. I was talking about one my student. She has undergone the third entrance. Currently, she is for the third one. Third internship with these people only. Crida Legal Mumbai. They are specifically focusing on sports one. And yes, you will be surprised or happy to know Mumbai Indian League. What is that? Mumbai? Mumbai Indian League, right? Mumbai Indians. Mumbai Indians actually they are framing all the draft for them, the Crida Legal. So I asked her if it is possible, I would like to come and meet to Rohit Sharma. You can take me to there or even to Jasprit Bumrah as well. So this one. The Nike and Nike Company Mumbai, MZM Legal Mumbai, Cyril Amarchandas Mangaldas. But these three, the fifth to seventh, these are not specifically the sports firm. These are handling all. But their one separate sports unit is there. And especially if you get the opportunity to work with these type of forms of law, of law, you can request them that I want to go with specific firm, that is the sports firm. You can go over there. Another two are there, three are there. That is TMT Law Practice, Delhi and Mumbai, specialized in sports law, medical media. I'm sorry, I have written incorrectly there. Please read it media and entertainment. Then IMG Reliance Mumbai and JSW Sports. That is legal advisor for Delhi Capital and Royal Challengers Bangalore. So how to approach them? First one, check their websites, check their LinkedIn pages. Please ensure that you are applying at least 6 months before. If you think that your internship will begin in January or you are going in December, then you can think for June, July, that is fine. But January for sure you will not get. No, big no to that. So before 6 months you apply. If possible, you attach one sports work. My strong suggestion to you, please attend any seminar, offline seminar. I'm not saying webinar, seminar. You go there, you meet two people like yours who are having interest in the same kind of field. You meet them, you can explore some good opportunities and write that research paper with most possible statistical way. Don't just focus on the history. If you have noticed, I did not talk about the history of sports or something like that. That is really not required at least in 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes class. So when you are writing the sports paper, especially the research paper, my suggestion is use statistical data there. Statistical data. As far as possible, give the graphs over there. And most importantly, you compare at all it is possible, especially for public gambling act, what Maharashtra rules are saying and what the Karnataka rules are saying. You can easily compare. Now see, one of our state, again, answer is not Goa if it comes in your mind. One of our state has permitted the online gambling as well. Yes, you heard it correctly. So that is under 7th schedule of the constitution. State are free to form their own laws. Already I have given hint. If the moment online gambling or gambling comes, unfortunately the name of Goa comes in our mind. But it's not Goa. Any guess? Kerala? No, not at all. In Maharashtra, don't try please. Yes, if you are in, let me explain this one. Let me explain. You are very close, sir, now. The answer to this question is Sikkim. Sikkim, 2024. And though that was not in my party, but still I would like to add this point. That is Maharashtra. No. Big no. If you are in Maharashtra and Gujarat, don't dare that. If you are in Chhattisgarh, you can attempt. If you are in Karnataka, at least you can attempt. This gambling is strictly offense in these two states, Maharashtra and Goa. Sorry, Gujarat. Thank you for correcting me. Maharashtra and Gujarat. But if you go to other states and if you are found guilty there, maximum possible thing is penalty. And even the outsiders are aware about that. Just means one example I can give here. Marshall Gibbs, who was South African cricketer, who was arrested, who was not arrested exactly, but who was one of the person who was involved into match fixing. But that match fixing took place in Delhi. And when for one mega event, if I'm not wrong, 2011's that in cricket World Cup, he came to India. But he came with his advocate. He came with his advocate since he was aware what kind he did before 11 years. And quite possible that the police will be waiting for him at Delhi airport or Mumbai airport, wherever it is possible. So he brought his advocate from South Africa. And why he did that? Since he was there in Delhi when this incident took place. But another cricketer, smart cricketer, not in terms of outward appearance, smart in the sense he applied his knowledge. Mervyn Samuels, the West Indian cricketer, Mervyn Samuels, he was involved into match fixing in Nagpur, and he never came to India. That's why I said smart person. Otherwise, even if he is landing in Delhi or he is landing in Bangalore, Mumbai police will welcome him first there. They can arrest and they can bring him back to Nagpur rather than in the Nagpur police, I would say. So in two states it is not possible. So please follow all those things. My first suggestion to you is, since it's new area for you, starts from Law Commission Report 276. Don't touch the familiar acts like Contract Act, Labor Law, or so on, and then you can proceed further. And the last one now, and undoubtedly I think I missed that part. Uh, Before I talk about this one, I want your opinion. I'm talking about an IPL match where one person who is famous for hitting big sixes. Big sixes means sometimes if he's hitting six in Bangalore, the ball may go to Chennai also. Yes, I'm talking about. Wow, madam, I should appreciate first you and all the people here. They're having answer to all. Yes, I'm talking about Chris Gayle only. When Chris Gayle hit the ball, it went into the public and it hit to a 16, 17-year-old girl. And the blood came from her head, who was hospitalized. Next day, Chris Gayle went to the hospital. He took her hand into his hand and he, of course, had given due sympathy to her. She was very pleased. Probably she forgot what happened yesterday. But now the question is, if the parents or the girl as well, if either of them wanted to raise action against Chris Gayle or Royal Challengers Bangalore or Bangalore Cricket Association, is it possible? Very good. If yes, very good. No, very good. Wow. Since we are in a learning stage, so mistakes are bound to happen. I'm happy with your attempt. Okay, second example I will give, then probably answer to the first one will be easy. That match was between India and Pakistan. And if match is between India and Pakistan, high tension will be there between the two. And when renowned Pakistani cricketer who was fielding on the boundary, at least Pakistanis called him as Sachin Tendulkar of Pakistan. Yes, I'm talking about Basit Ali. No, I think you are representing current generation. I'm talking about my Inzamam ul Haq. Shahid Afridi is like Chale to Chand Tak. Inzamam ul Haq. So, Inzamam ul Haq, who was actually fielding on the boundary, and all of a sudden he heard a word from the spectator called Alu. Alu, since he was little fat, and he knows Punjabi language. So he heard Alu. Few times he ignored that. And then he called to means he asked one Pakistani player to get the bat. The Pakistani player was also shocked. He is in fielding. And what he will do with the bat? But still, a senior player is ordering you. He brought the bat there. Till that time, Inzamam was very calm, as if nothing happened. And then all of a sudden, he took the bat, he entered into the spectator, and he beat 3-4 times to that person who was calling him Alu. Now again my question, if that person wants to raise action against Inzamam ul Haq.
Yes.
Yes, wonderful, fantastic. You are very clear to this answer, and your answer is absolutely right. Why? Why? Intention to beat was there, no doubt. Excessive force? Excessive force? He provoked him. But provocation, see, if you are responsible, always remember one thing, responsibility will come with liability. Never ever responsibility will come alone. And he was an international cricketer, no doubt, calling Alu or Bangan someone, something like that. These Pakistani people, they use this word Bangan very much. Huh. And of course, our Andhra, the Hyderabad, exactly. For everything, what happened? Sab kuch theek hai Bangan. Now, what is this Bangan? They don't know, but they use this term. So, it's not a welcome step, but beating someone else is illegal. illegal. Now going to that first example of Chris Gale, that is voluntary non-fit injuria. It means consent is given by you. Our one ex-cricketer Raman Lamba died in the field. This Australian cricketer Phil Hughes, if I'm not wrong, he also passed away in the field only. So you cannot claim. Yes, of course, that is quite possible. If helmet is weak or it's not protecting your spinal cord, you can raise that action against the manufacturer. But you cannot raise action against the baller who actually bowled you. Not possible at all. So part is equally important, and especially if you are taking the compensation, that is badly required. So coming to my last slide now. Now law is no longer limited to courtroom. Today it moves in business, in boardrooms, and yes, on the sports field. In court, let me complete please. In a country where cricket is not just a game, but emotion, it's opening wide doors for you. Wide doors for you. And of course, if you carry the knowledge, or if you carry a sword of your knowledge, the shield of your passion, you can be a good lawyer. Don't think that you are from Latur or you are from Parbani Nanded. No way. It is not monopoly of Mumbai or Delhi people, not at all. And majority of the judicial officers are from Marathwada. That's a proud thing for all of us. So you please develop that passion. And in sports industry, money, fame, everything is there. And what is important, that is the need of the advocates. So I can say next Tendulkar, maybe in the field, maybe we can find the next Tendulkar in the field. But the next great advocate, sports advocate, who knows, is in this hall only. So thank you so much for all your questions, for listening and motivating me. If you are having any question, you are free to ask me. I have three questions.
Yes.
First, I would like to congratulate you on behalf of all of us.
Thank you.
For giving bird's eye view on this sports law. My first question is that in India, there is favorism in selection process of the sportsman.
Yes.
Because my family member has gone through this. My niece is a cricket player in women's team. In a match, total score of selection match, total score was 82. She scored 52 runs.
Yeah. Wonderful.
And she was shown absent for match.
She was shown absent.
Yeah. And they fought for it.
Still case is going on, sir.
No, we are not gone through judiciary. We met Ashish Shelar was in charge of that selection.
Okay.
We went to him, we told these things, he checked the video videos, and then he removed that coach.
Okay.
But everybody cannot follow this procedure.
Yes, true, sir.
So what can we do? We need to make some provision.
Yes, sir.
This is my first point. Second point, we have missed the point of sexual harassment of our women's in sports. Vinesh Fogart, Viral Punia, Sakshi Malik.
Yes, sir, true.
The president of the Wrestling Federation of India
Yes.
has molested them. Nothing has happened.
Yes.
Nagarajan, who molested their old sons, he was booked under POXO and IPC. Nothing has happened. Because we do not have comprehensive law.
True, sir.
So what can we do?
Yes, sir.
And my third point is, you have talked of emotions. We are not allowing the players to meet the family members.
We are not allowed.
To meet the family members. Yes. In cricket, hockey team,
Yes, sir.
you raised this point.
Yes.
In China, sir, they deliberately detach these players from family members. They don't allow the family members to attend on the field to watch the match, not to distract the player, to look at their family members. Because we Indians are probably very much emotionally packed. And why China is getting so many gold and other numbers, One reason is this: they are emotionally detaching from family and they are emotionally attaching to game. And my last point is, you are working at LBSM AA. What you have found, specifically the spark in other than these students, why they are getting selected as IAS, IPS, or from Bhutan you have trained.
Yes.
If you probably have come to certain conclusion that this is different thing in those persons. You please tell us.
Okay, fine.
Thank you.
So the 4 points what sir has raised, maybe I'm not following the sequence. Whatever is recalling, I will answer that. Yes, POXO and other things already I discussed on that, but already I have taken excess time. So many laws I discussed. This is a 4 credit course what we are teaching. And this is for whole semester. Still, I thought that these laws which are required, Juvenile Justice Act, even Constitution, Sir Sri Gautam Gambhir, MP, and he was coach of national that Lucknow Super Giants. Can you expect? No doubt that Article 102, that the profit of office will not come since it's not a government one. But after all, ethics are also there. So intentionally, I had to keep something away from this lecture. I thought these are the basic things. Even law of thought also missed, but law of thought something we cannot afford to miss. So I brought it into the end. But yes, next time whenever we will meet, I will add 8 or 9 other acts are also there, which we can discuss over there. This is number one. Second point about the emotions. See what means Panchal madam is here. She is teaching penology that I know. And in penology, we are talking about the reformative theory. Now, reformation is not something which can be embodied directly. And for that, the development is required from all 360-degree angle. And one such content is, we people, as you only pointed out, Indians are emotional. Chinese may be more practical than us. Now, in Pune, if I compare Pune people with Latur people, they are different, sir. But the word, famous word they are using, who cares? Who cares? This is what they are using. But probably in Latur and Nanded, I don't find this who care will come. So it will differ from person to person, state to state, and of course from country to country. Chinese may be practical. India also, we are taking that step. But it doesn't mean, see, after all, why we are doing all those things? For the family members. If I'm not able to balance that thing, then best way I should come out from that. Many other opportunities are waiting for me. It's not something that cricket or hockey or tennis will make me superior. So balancing should be there. I will not definitely say that people will come. Maybe 1 or 2 matches they can distract, but every time if they come, no, my brother is with me. I'm not distracted. I tried my level best to discuss on that. Otherwise, yes, it's a point where I can get little nervous as well. Number third point, what you have asked about the students of Labasna. Good point, and maybe for all others, it can be motivation. See, out of 269 students in the first batch when I was there, unfortunately, one student died later on. 268 were there, and one person was there. His name was Harisingh Chauhan. He was from Bikaner, Rajasthan. Bikaner, Rajasthan. And in class only, he used to ask me, सर अपने अंग्रेजी कमजोर है बीच बीच में हिंदी में बोला कीजिए directly he said, sir, even if we don't know English we will say yeah or something like that, but openly in the class he said. Then of course we Indians are taking everything in a different way. I'm not exception to that. So by that time I was working in Bangalore and I went to Missouri. So I thought he's teasing me. He is under opinion that I'm South Indian and I may not be able to speak Hindi language. So he's testing my knowledge, he's teasing me as well. But later on I found he was a worker who was working in with one particular contractor. He was from a very poor family. He failed in 3 attempts of UPSC. By that time only 4 attempts used to be there. And first time when he asked his parents that I want to go for UPSC, the answer given by parents, no. This is for only rich people. Even if you fail, they will come, they will have the settled business and they can continue their life. But later on, because of its continuous pressure, they allowed him. First attempt failed, drastically failed.
The parents were not ready. They said, you are married, you don't give us to anything, you just maintain yourself and your wife, that's it. But now you have to work and you want to give the exam, you can give. Second time he had given the exam, he cleared the prelims. Unfortunately, he could not clear the mains. Then in the third attempt, he cleared the mains. He went to the interview. There he was rejected. Fourth time he went again to the interview. That was last attempt. It was a serious pressure was there upon his mind. Emotionally disturbed also we can say. But still he requested, now this is my final attempt. You please allow me to go to Delhi to prepare for the interview. And at this time if I am getting failed, then even if you don't say I need to come here, no option will be left for me. And then he went to Delhi. He attempted for 3 mock interviews. Finally, he went for the 4th one and he cleared the UPSC. He got the, normally you don't get the whole cadre. He did not get IS, of course. He got IPS. IPS. Normally it is difficult to get the whole cadre. He got Rajasthan cadre. But sir, what was probably most appealing for me, when he was about to go from the academy after completion of it 6 months, when he met me. Normally I control my emotions at the college level, but on that day I could not. I cried. Literally tears came from my eyes when he told me, sir, I got Rajasthan cadre. I was happy to know this. But what actually made me cry, he got posting in Bikaner, where he was throwing the waste or dumps there. He was IPS officer in Bikaner. So my dear students, this is not YouTube video or not a YouTube WhatsApp message, motivational message. This is my personal experience. When Gary was there, when I was teaching in that class, it was 14th November, and I still remember when I was talking about domestic violence, all of a sudden, after all, there is one quote, men will be men. I will say students will be students. They were IS, IPS, IFS officers. But they started to tell me, sir, today is Priyanka's birthday. So I wished Priyanka, she was in the class, I said, happy birthday, Priyanka. She said, sir, today is not my birthday. So I was shocked. If you are saying birthday is there, and there was no birthday, so I just saw all remaining. Then she said, today is 14th November, and it is Bal Divas, and I am the youngest one, so that's why they call me child Bal of this entire batch. Then I asked her, oh, Priyanka, I'm very curious to know about you. What is your educational background? And though it is offense to ask a girl or woman to about her age, but still I dared to ask her. I went to ask her her age. She said, sir, I am 19-year-old. No, not 19, sorry, 21. 21-year-old. And I'm waiting for my BA final result. BA final result I'm waiting for. And I cleared the UPSC. I'm taking the training of IPS. 21-year-old girl from a poor family of Bihar. Her family members were not even in a position to give her best quality coaching as well. She cracked that UPSC first attempt before even declaration of her graduation result. But what she told me, sir, I'm not happy. I want to be your student again in next few days, and I want to crack that IS. So after 8 years, when I taught her, she's from Bihar, her cadre is Tamil Nadu. When I asked her, Priyanka, where are you? She said, sir, I'm in that Trichy. So what we call Trichy is not Tripura. A different name is there, short form is Trichy. So yes, thank you, sir. That is Tiruchirappalli, if I'm not wrong. So she's working in Trichy now. When I asked her, I am happy to know this, but IS or IPS? Then she said, no, sir, IPS only. Now the work pressure is not allowing me to sit together and study, but I'm happy now. And unfortunately, I cannot become your student, but I will remain your student. This was her answer. Okay, thank you so much. So with this lecture, I'm ending this lecture. And even if one of you has taken the active interest in sports law, I will feel my efforts are positive, and I will be thankful to you. Please take the active interest in sports law. Thank you and all the best.
You can actually send the questions to ma'am. She will forward to.
Thank you, sir, for enlightening us with your vast knowledge, abundant experience, and expertise in the law. Gratitude is the fairest blossom which springs from the soul. With these beautiful words, now I invite Gargi Bastakure to propose the vote of thanks. Good morning, everyone. It gives me pleasure and pride to deliver the vote of thanks for today's enlightening expert lecture on sports law, a new career opportunity turning passion into profession. On behalf of the organizing team, I extend my deepest gratitude to our distinguished speaker, Dr. Sanjay Bang, Christ University, Lavasa, Pune, for shedding light on such an emerging field of law. You have truly inspired us, sir, to look beyond the conventional and consider turning our passion for sports into a legal profession. Thank you for Sachin Bang, sir, RTO officer, for your presence today. A very special thanks to our patron, Advocate Sri Ashish Ji Bajpai, sir, senior advocate and CDC member, for his unwavering support. We are deeply thankful to our principal, Dr. Poonam Nathani ma'am, for nurturing an environment that promotes learning beyond the classroom. Sincere thanks to the faculty coordinators, Advocate M. Pathan sir and Advocate R. Shetty sir, today's anchor, Pranita Shenge Didi, and student volunteers for their efforts in making this event a success. To our wonderful audience and participants, thank you for your presence. Your involvement made this lecture truly enriching. Let's carry forward the inspiration from today and continue to explore paths where our passion meets our profession. Thank you once again and have a great day ahead.
I announce that this program is concluded.